welcome to Lifestyles Plus, the magazine of Berkshire, Hathaway, HomeServices, EW, and Realty. I'm your host, Olga Villaverde. When one thinks of South Florida, sun, surf, and beautiful homes come to mind. The architectural beauty of high-end residences, along with fashion, travel, and luxury trends, can be found in the newly reimagined ultra-high luxury magazine, Lifestyles South Florida. And joining me today is the editor-in-chief of Lifestyles South Florida, one of the industry's most respected professionals, Anetta Nowosielska. Welcome.
Thank you, Olga. Nice to be here.
So great to have you.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me, it's just a beautiful magazine. Exquisite comes to mind. Tell me the goals when it was kind of coming to fruition.
So we had this goal in mind to really redefine what luxury living is. Obviously, we're working with the pillars of what luxury could be: fashion, as you mentioned, lifestyle, beautiful things. But we are also able to kind of take that a little bit further and define what that means today. How are you spending your time? How are you living in your home? What is important to you? How you surround yourself, how you make others feel. And that's what we're doing with the publication.
And your experiences, you're bringing it, if you will, to the forefront. Tell me about one that you went to Italy. I mean, my goodness, can we just look behind us?
Yes.
Beautiful region. How did it feel to go there and to just bring it to life in the magazine?
I'm fortunate enough to go and travel quite often for the publication as well. This was my first time in the Chianti region of Tuscany. Stunning. And I've been to Tuscany a few times, but I've never been quite to the Chianti region. There, I was invited to visit a vineyard owned by Santa Margherita.
That is my mom's favorite, by the way.
Great choice.
I have to say.
Yes, it's delicious. And we visited their Chianti vineyard called La Mole di La Mole. Had spent some time learning about their harvesting, their profiles, their vineyard, and the history of the family that owns it. So it was spectacular.
And I love how you then bring it to life for a viewer to then suddenly just be there.
Right.
That's incredible to be able to captivate.
Right.
That.
So editorially, we decided the story was so impactful that we wanted to dedicate a few pages. Obviously, the photography spoke enormously about it, but I think that the story also kind of tries to make you feel like you're there. And I wrote it, so it's a little self-indulgence to say that, but it was intended for you to kind of dream and imagine what it would be like to visit.
And not only dream and imagine, but then actually go, which is one of the things now I want to do because of you bringing that to life for me. I saw here that Lifestyle South Florida is defined by so many gifted writers, so I want to talk about a few if that's okay. Let's start with Duncan Quinn. Tell me about the personal travel column.
Sure. Duncan Quinn is a lovely and dapper English gentleman who moonlights as a bespoke tailor, but actually he is a writer who gets to go around the world, experience one of the finest experiences you can have.
How fabulous.
And it's part of his sort of repertoire. His language and tone as a writer is phenomenal, and he is really one who can kind of make you feel like you're there. In the winter issue, I believe he visits Monte Carlo for one of the shows, and he speaks beautifully about his experience, and again, another opportunity for you to kind of feel like you're living that moment through his eyes.
Let's move to Jean Nair, architectural, I believe.
She is one of our powerhouses, a very well published and established journalist. Her sort of lens is really on architecture and definition of real estate, the things that kind of define beautiful buildings, and the way she connects audience is quite different and really memorable.
And one more here, Kim Hopkins, travel expert.
Yes, Kim Hopkins is actually somebody who submitted a story from Charleston. She lives in Charleston, is also an astute writer and a traveler. And the way she brings Charleston to life is through her own sort of very personal experience and gives you an itinerary around the city. And it's really, really fun and beautifully put together.
How often does the magazine come out?
We are currently doing 4 drops a year, so seasonally, which affords us the opportunity to be really thoughtful about what we want to put in that book. And we definitely define it by seasons and themes as well. So that's how we build it.
Is it the dream? Are you finally doing something that you love and just making it real and bringing it to so many people that say, wow, because there's so many magazines, but this one's really exquisite, elegant. It just really sparks.
Right. I'm incredibly grateful to Berkshire Hathaway and to the team I work with for giving us this opportunity to trust us with our vision. And I think that it is absolutely true. There's so many publications out there, but I think we are doing luxury with soul and luxury with meaning.
Beautiful.
And it's astute, it's sophisticated, but I hope it gives you and leaves you with something more.
Well, I want our viewers to know that Lifestyle South Florida is such a wonderful magazine featuring all the newest homes for sale, trends in luxury. It's just fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back. Lifestyles Plus, the magazine of Berkshire, Hathaway, HomeServices, EWM Realty is back. I'm Olga Villaverde. You know, many little girls dream of being a model, shooting in exotic locations or being a designer, creating beautiful outfits worn by many. Well, today we meet the woman who has done both. She has graced the covers of Self, Elle Italia, and Vogue, among others, created her own swimwear line, and is the cover model in the latest edition of Lifestyles South Florida. I'd like to welcome Lauren Layne. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you. You know, where do you find the time to not only be a business owner and a model? I mean, that's a lot of work.
It is. It's definitely a juggling act, I guess. But I've found if I can separate them, then that's the best way to handle it.
You started modeling at the age of 8.
I did, yes.
What,
I know.
I guess, led to that? Was it something that you felt? Your mom, a combination?
It was so strange. We were actually at an amusement park, and someone came up to me and my family and said, have you ever thought about getting her into modeling?
That's how it happens.
And yeah, my mom and my Nana both were like, yeah, you should do that. So I did a little bit of it. I did like a Payless shoes and a Sprint commercial. And then when I turned 15, I went to New York for the first time.
Look at that. Yeah. Again, you've graced so many covers. I see this one behind you, absolutely stunning. Was it kind of like shocking and exhilarating to see your face and be like, hey, that's me?
Yes.
What's that feeling like?
I don't even know how to explain it. It's the best feeling ever. It makes all of the hard work feel like it's paid off. And also it's pretty cool to get to have a copy with your face on the cover of something that I can show to my kids one day. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now I've read here you created Lauren Layne Swim, which is obviously named after you.
Yes.
Tell me why the swimwear brand, where was the inspiration for that?
Well, I always wanted to be a designer ever since I was a little girl. And then I was a swimsuit and lingerie model for 6 years. And during the fits and the shooting and everything, I always realized, well, I love swimwear, but it never fits. And I love being active. I love, jumping on a jet ski or playing beach volleyball. And I wanted to make sure that you could still feel sexy and look sexy, but fit.
Okay.
Not fall out. So that was our main goal. And that's when I started.
Who are you designing for? Tell me a little bit about just the colors and your visions.
Okay, so we are designing for everybody, but we do more of a Brazilian style.
Oh.
Very 80s, full side cutouts. I'll have to show you some high-waisted stuff. It's really nice.
I may like the low-waisted too.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Very like cheeky, ruche.
Yeah.
Our high-waisted is very hot too.
Okay, I may be a little older than you, but I could still manage.
Oh, you can, for sure. And then we're launching our first ready-to-wear all linen collection on December 1st.
Nice.
Yes.
So what are, I guess, the keys to success? One would say, wow, you're living the dream. You started when you were 8. You've covered all these magazines. Your face is everywhere. Now you're a business owner. How do you do it? If someone were to say, this is what I want.
Ooh, determination and hard work.
Perseverance is big.
Yes, for sure. I have taken a few classes at FIT, so that way I could learn the business side of owning my own line and manufacturing and all that, which was very beneficial. But yeah, and a little bit of luck as well.
Anything else in the future you'd like to endeavor to that right now you are putting on hold? I have a feeling there's more to come.
There is. We might be starting a men's line, so keep your eyes out for that.
There you go.
Yes.
Right. And what color would you give me if you had to just design a swimsuit.
I mean, you look fantastic in red.
I love red.
You look great.
Okay, well, surprise me.
Yes.
Send me
okay,
something.
we're sending you a package.
But appropriate for a mother of two.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
Wish you so much luck. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back. Welcome to Lifestyles Plus, the magazine of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, EWM Realty. I'm Olga Villaverde. So over the past 15 years, Miami has become an art mecca. And at the center of it all is Art Miami, which showcases the best in modern and contemporary art from 125 international art galleries and has a preeminent position in America's contemporary art fair market. This year, Art Miami runs from November 30th to December 5th. And joining me to talk about this year's event is Art Miami's Executive Vice President and Director, Nick Korniloff. Welcome.
Thank you, Olga.
Okay, so I have to tell you that I am extremely excited because it's been 2 years we haven't had Art Miami, obviously because of what we've gone through. Finally.
We are back. We are excited. Our dealers, our staff, the city, everyone's pumped up. Art Week is back. It's been a long, long time since we've had an art fair in Miami, and the world is waiting. The lights are shining on Miami as a cultural destination again.
We're waiting for it. We're feeling it. We need it. So let's talk about just how grand this is going to be, because I think this one's going to be the best ever. Tell me about how many countries, how many galleries. I mean, this is huge.
Well, we have over 200 galleries participating in both Art Miami and Context Art Miami, down on Herald Plaza, right on Biscayne Bay. Probably one of the most beautiful sites in Miami to see. If you're coming to town, it's a full-day event. 14 different countries represented, artists from the past that are so important, collected in major institutions, achieving record prices at auction, and also living artists, which are the future of the market. So our galleries are really excited. I know the community's ready to get back to what we do best, and that's hosting the world in our wonderful city.
Since you mentioned the past and the present, I do want to mention someone who we lost, but I think it's amazing that you have his works and they're going to be displayed. The late Venezuelan artist Carlos Cruz Diaz. Spectacular, what a coup. Tell me about it.
We work directly with the gallery that's representing the estate, and they brought us this very select group of works of Mr. Diaz, who I was privileged to meet over the years. And we're honored to be great caretakers of this collection. These are the first time these works will be seen and for acquisition during Art Week.
Something new that you added, Nick, something in terms of supporting the international art community. It's called Curated Rooms Online. Tell me about that and Miami Plus Online.
Well, there's a little bit of a hangover from COVID. Not everybody could make it.
Good way of putting it.
Exactly. A big hangover. So we made an option for the dealers that couldn't come or the collectors to meet collectively online and be able to acquire work.
That's fantastic. And I do want everyone to know that you really don't have to be an art lover. It's really something for everyone. I'm not one to say that I've studied art and I've always enjoyed art, but I do enjoy going. It's the ambience, it's the environment, it's just everything. And if you're an art lover, a huge plus.
You nailed it on the head. It's a wonderful event for everyone. It's highly accessible. The gallerists want to teach the audience about the art. It's for art enthusiasts, but it's also for major serious collectors. The top collectors in the world visit our fairs. They're always able to acquire something to enhance their collections. And it's an important visit for all curators, institutions, and private collectors. But we always love when the general public comes to appreciate the artist.
That's fantastic. I wish you so much luck.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Olga.
I'm glad it's back.
We'll see you there, right?
Yeah, are you kidding? Front and center.
I hope so.
Thank you, Nick. Good luck to you. Of course, Art Miami, great event. It runs from November 30th through December 5th. Check it out. And don't forget, you can also check out the Art Miami Plus online. Thanks so much for joining us.
Perfect. Thank you.
Lifestyles Plus, the magazine of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, EWM Realty, is back. I'm Olga Villaverde, and today we're talking with a Johnson & Wales graduate who has brought her love of maximum flavor to the masses through her 6 cookbooks, 4 South Florida restaurants, a YouTube series, and if that's not enough, she's completing her MBA from Harvard Business School. I'm so thrilled to have Chef Adrianne Calvo joining us.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for having me. Such a pleasure to be here.
Are you kidding? I mean, there's so much to get to, Chef Adrianne. Your transition from local chef to just national superstar chef.
Wow, that's a big title.
Thank you so much.
You.
You deserve it.
No.
How has that transition been? How exciting?
Surreal. It's been surreal, really. It's kind of like, you know, you're running this marathon and then all of a sudden you're here. This is the dream. You're living the dream. And it sounds like a cliche, but I feel like every morning I wake up and I have like lightning in my veins now. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's wake up. It's your dream, you know?
And the dream is really reality, because I was reading here, you have a YouTube series, Searching for Maximum Flavor with Chef Adrianne. Tell me about the series and what someone gets out of it. And personally, I love the maximum flavor hook.
Oh, thank you. Well, maximum flavor is activating all parts of your palate, right? So what happens is you eat something that does that salty, sweet and salty, spicy, whatever, it sends endorphins to your brain. And that's how you create a lasting food memory, right? So when I've traveled, I've enjoyed sourcing and finding out these dishes, these iconic dishes from everywhere, and the stories of the chefs that create them or the families that are behind it. And I'm like an adventure seeker. I love adrenaline. So we mix in a little bit of adventure. My perfect day is, you know, go out there, enjoy nature, do something really cool that races, you know, your heartbeat, you know, and then go have a fantastic meal that's going to blow your mind. And that's what I love to share that with people.
And I loved the fact that you love flavor, because, I mean, you know that saying that says, I eat to live?
Yes.
And I live to eat?
Yes.
Right? I live to eat. Like, I love food. I like flavor. And all your dishes have such unique flavors. I've been to a couple of the restaurants. And it's really like the wow factor. And I personally think food and eating is a pleasure. One of the top 2 for me. I won't name the first, but, you know, it's up there.
As it should be. I'm obsessed with flavor. I'm obsessed with, you know, food should never be boring. I think that you do eat for pleasure too. I mean, if not, we're just feeding ourselves, whatever. But if you go out to eat or you're creating a dish, that's, you know, I live for the wow factor in all aspects.
6 cookbooks. The recent one is the A-list.
Yes.
So tell me about this one. It's 2 volumes. What can someone expect to see?
It's 100 of my favorite, my best recipes, and I say ... so far.
Okay.
You know, hopefully that changes and it grows.
Give me just a few.
Well, one of my favorites is a duck breast that we marinate in a nice, delicious soy marinade. It's an Asian marinade, and so it has a lot of umami, but we do a spicy blackberry reduction on top. So you have the berry, you have some sweetness, you have some sour, you have umami. Again, it's maximum flavor.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, the restaurants. There are so many. There's 4. The latest is Forte.
Yes.
In honor of your mother?
Yes, that's my mother's maiden name. And, you know, everybody carries, obviously, their father's last name, usually, right? It's Sicilian heritage. I've always grown up with these recipes all around me, talking all about it all the time. And it was just time, you know, it's part of, you know, women coming to the forefront. Let me tell my mother's story and honor, you know, I started cooking with her. So, you know, it just felt right.
This one's Italian, obviously.
Yes.
All right, walk me through the other 3. I've been to 2 out of the 4 so far.
Okay, so as I call the mothership or the hub, it's Chef Adrianne's Vineyard Restaurant and Bar. We've been open now for 14 and a half years.
And it's hardly so difficult to get in there. I mean, go early.
Yeah, and then we have Cracked by Chef Adrianne, which is our fine casual concept, started from a food truck and then turned into a restaurant. Then we have Redfish by Chef Adrianne, which is in Coral Gables. It's waterfront.
That one's beautiful. You see the water.
Yes.
Love that one.
And then we have Forte by Chef Adrianne on Miracle Mile, and that's our Italian concept. And now we're actually onboarding our bakery called Baked by Chef Adrianne.
Oh my gosh.
But you're the first to hear about this.
Tell me about that one.
So I love desserts, and the same love that I put into food, I put into the desserts. You know, our Nutella bread pudding won countless awards, stuff like that. And so we're doing outrageous, delicious desserts, and we're gonna hopefully go direct to consumer pretty soon.
Okay, and finally, I mean, as if you don't have enough on your plate, no pun intended, an MBA now degree, what's going on here? Why?
So running restaurants, it's equal parts food, you know, and loving food and passion for service, but as it is business. So I've always wanted to know what I'm doing with numbers. I need to understand the machine that a restaurant is. So that's the driving force behind that.
You've lived the dream. You're living the dream.
Yes.
How's life right now?
It's a pinch me moment right now. Yeah, I'm grateful. I mean, I think this is, it's undeserving. And I'm very grateful that I get to live this, and grateful for every person that supports me and walks through those restaurants. And, I just can't thank them enough.
Well, I grew up going to restaurants with my family. They taught me how to eat good food. And I will say that every time I go in, I'm very happy with what I have been served. Just the atmosphere, it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that means the world.
Well, I have 2 words to describe you: creative and driven. And I wish you all the luck.
Oh my gosh,
I don't think you need it, but good luck.
Thank you.
So much more success.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back. We welcome Ron Shuffield, President and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, EWM Realty, to Lifestyles Plus. With offices in Miami-Dade, Broward, and now Palm Beach County, Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, EWM, is one of the nation's leading luxury real estate firms who for over 50 years has been a definite luxury leader in the South Florida market. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you, Olga.
50 years, that's just amazing.
Yes, we are very fortunate. We had 3 founders, all ladies that founded our company in 1964.
And that's why it's been so successful.
Absolutely.
And you wouldn't say otherwise.
That's right.
Ron, let's talk about just when COVID hit and how the economy got hit. How did it affect the real estate market in South Florida? And yet, I also hear about a boom. So talk to me about that.
Well, initially, I'll never forget, it was March the 13th when everything closed down.
No one forgot that day.
We actually were at a convention with our parent company, Berkshire Hathaway, and we were flying back home on the 12th. And then the next morning, they said, okay, everything's shutting down. And so we thought, oh my goodness, we're going back into the recession again. We didn't really know what would happen. And we thought, well, this will take maybe 90 days, but it's not going to be good. And of course, we prepared for the worst. And then we were surprised with an explosion of new activity.
And the real estate market has exploded. Talk to me about that explosion. Where are we at?
Well, we were fortunate that South Florida was already beginning to grow. The tax changes that took place in 2017 started bringing a lot of people our way, especially the more affluent people, and especially from the Northeast. And the different tax structure in the Northeast in comparison to South Florida was significant. So people were realizing that, gee, not only can we save a lot of money now in taxes, but we can enjoy all this wonderful weather. And a lot of their friends were starting to move. So they were already starting to move our direction. So the pandemic just accelerated that.
In what way and why? People wanted to come and?
They wanted to come and they wanted to purchase because they knew that the values in comparison to where they were coming from were in many cases half price. And so they would come down and look at our properties and go, oh my gosh, we can buy 2 of these homes for the price of one that we have wherever we're coming from.
And I heard and I saw and I just kept on watching as things were just going like this.
Yes.
I mean, it was just...
And it's still doing that.
I know.
That's right.
And there's hardly any inventory, if you will.
Well, that's a challenge we have today, but it's a good challenge.
It's a good challenge.
And we are beginning to see a little bit more inventory coming into the marketplace because a lot of our sellers are recognizing that, gee, this is maybe the best time for me to sell.
I know a lot of people who have actually sold and are actually renting because it was just the time to let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people have made significant gains on their investments. So.
Where do we go from here now?
Well, we're a condo community. We have been for a decade or more now. Beautiful condos all along the coastline and the interior parts of both Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. So what we're seeing now is that our development community is gearing up very rapidly to start building more condos. And single-family homes, we don't have a whole lot of vacant land left, but we have a lot of homes in areas that can be improved. So people are improving, they're tearing homes down completely, building brand new homes. But the condominium is the big story for the moment that we're in right now as we wrap up 2021 and go into 22. And what we're seeing now with the number of people that are a number of developers that are beginning to develop, we're going to have some nice new supply coming. We're signing a lot of pre-construction contracts right now. I just signed 2 yesterday in one of our new high-rise buildings in downtown Miami. One for $2.5 million, one for $3.5 million. So those are the kind of numbers that we're seeing now.
To be honest, I mean, I am a South Florida girl, but I've always said there's always a place here in South Florida for anyone to come to, and I just see it more and more as the years go by. I've never, ever experienced such a boom in a place that I live.
Well, and what you're experiencing, just as I'm experiencing, the ones of us that live here, and we see this growth that's coming, and some days it's a little scary because it's like, how many more people can we take at one time? But, we're figuring out how to do that. Our friends from the Northeast have now been joined by our friends from California, from central part of the U.S., Chicago. A lot of people are coming here. Taxes, again, were one of the big draws. But now, it's the fact that we just have so many people that are saying, this is where we should be going. We just opened an office in New Delhi, India. This is our Berkshire Hathaway franchise. So an established real estate firm in New Delhi has now affiliated with Berkshire Hathaway. And last month, they invited me to be a part of their celebration to announce that they were going to become part of the Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices family. And when we finished the call, I realized that I was the only one on this call from the U.S. This was a Zoom, and so we got to see each other, and I could see myself on a 30-foot screen on a stage in New Delhi. And so I asked someone afterwards, I said, well, how did we get chosen? And he said, oh, they chose you. And I said, what do you mean? I don't know anybody there. And they said, oh, no, they wanted somebody from Miami to be on this program. And so I thought, well, that, again, is more confirmation that the whole world wants what we have.
Absolutely, and we have a lot, a lot. Any final thoughts?
Well, just that we see more growth ahead. I think that this is a perfect time for sellers to sell if they have been thinking about that.
I've even thought about it.
And for buyers, our interest rates are the lowest in history. This is the time for buyers to buy as well. Even though a buyer may think, well, gee, we're getting, prices are going up. Maybe it's going to be too high. Maybe they're going to fall. Maybe I'll wait and see what happens. I tell everybody, interest rates are going to come up at some point.
They will.
And the interesting little metric about that is if the interest rate goes up 1%, it erodes your borrowing power by 11%. So if interest rates go up 1%, and the price would have to come down 11% to equal that out. So,
Ron, thank you so much.
Thank you, Olga. It's been fun.
Appreciate your time. And thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great day.